Major news outlets have been trying for the past couple of weeks to push the narrative that Democrats are enjoying a late surge, a renaissance in popularity. They'll hold the House and pick up seats in the Senate. Spoiler alert, they absolutely will not. We were told the exact same things in 2010 and 2014. Trust me on this. The idea that somehow Americans are now happy with Joe Biden is nothing more than a cheap parlor trick from those trying to deceive you. And they started doing this right about the time that early voting was starting in places like Pennsylvania. You know, key places that could determine the outcome of the midterms and who controls Congress. Let's look at what's really happening, shall we? And that's this. The economy, for the most part and for most people, is still very painful. New numbers show Joe Biden's economic policies have punished American families, costing the average family more than $4,200 so far. That, according to the Congressional Budget Office. And yes, sadly, it's going to get worse. The cost of oil has already hit rock bottom. And with Joe Biden's war on American energy not letting up at all, it means the war on the middle class will continue with its full fury as well. The cost of gasoline has been rising for several days in a row now. It's going to continue. And with the world's largest energy company, Aramco, and others, saying they're already at or near capacity to push out more gas and oil, it means growing worldwide demand is going to hammer America's working class the hardest because the price is going to spike. More demand for less product. It's simple economics, something they don't understand in the White House. And it is the economic failures of Joe Biden that will continue to drag down people's optimism and push them to the Republicans. And even the pollsters know that. Despite the fact that many are showing a tightening race in recent days, the truth is, most don't believe that. And those that understand what is actually happening have a very different opinion of what's really happening. Like one of my regular guests here, Trafalgar pollster Robert Cahaley, who is more accurate than just about anybody else, certainly more accurate than the big leftist polls, and he's more accurate by a long shot. And here's what he says, and this is important. Listen.
We would just ask people, how do you think your neighbors are voting? It's a projection device, and it would allow people to explain that, yes, maybe I'm for Hillary, but my neighbors are all for Trump, and it let them say they were for Trump without being judged. This year, our fear is that people are not going to be polled that are Trump supporters because of all that Biden has said and all the apparent attacks and people coming after them, and they're just hesitant to even participate. I think everybody will underestimate them, including us. Republican turnout will exceed even what we predict.
Yeah, and the brand new ABC News Washington Post poll pegs Joe Biden's approval ratings at 39%. His renaissance, short-lived. So this is why Democrats are becoming incredibly shrill and lashing out. This is why the cry of white supremacy and domestic terrorists are being repeated and pointed at Republicans, conservatives, libertarians, and, of course, independents alike. It's because trying to turn those who reject socialist thoughts and have better ideas into demons is what they have left. Fear is all the Democrats have to sell right now.